Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we are going to be doing the third part to what if Goku's KAIOKEN was permanent. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
After this, we start getting a little concerned about how he's going to deal with Goku. For now, he's not a threat to him, he's sure of that. However, if he can just jack up his power level at a moment's notice, what's going to stop him abusing this power to become a very dangerous threat? Now, he considers this deeply, and this delays the training of the Saiyans. However, after some deep thought, he realizes that Goku is of good nature, but not only that, he can go and talk to him, tell him what he saw and what it has caused. Goku's a pure-hearted man. He's sure that he will listen to what he has to say and obey his command if he at least knows why he must do so. As Goku is training on his own, he is just practicing his fighting technique, and what is surprising is that he's trying to magpie Beerus' abilities. Whis appears in front of him though and lightly chuckles once he sees what he's doing, using his own technique, his own tricks. Goku, I will need to talk to you right this instant, Whis states, landing beside him. Talk to me? About what? Goku asks, totally oblivious to what's going on. Just to inform you, my staff possesses the ability to go back in time. You won't know this, but I was forced to use that ability during your fight with Beerus because you didn't hold back and ended up murdering him, Whis states. Upon further explanation, he reveals that every single god would have died, every single one in this universe at least. Their lives are linked, and so the world would have devolved into a spiritual anarchy. Therefore, he knows that something has to change. Goku is quite willing to go through with what he's saying. I mean, it's clear that he doesn't have much stock in what is being ordered of him, and it makes sense. These gods are used to ensure the order of the multiverse. This seems like something that's beyond him, so there's no need for him to question it, and he just follows along. However, Whis still allows him to train with him. Goku, Vegeta, and Nappa therefore embark on some training under the gods. Nappa begins learning Ultra Instinct and can immediately tell it's not for him. His body type doesn't even allow for it. When he hears of destruction and how it can be used to erase things, he feels like that can be used in tandem with his body type and fighting style better. Vegeta can see that and starts to think about that for himself, but he sticks to Ultra Instinct form now. He doesn't want to see himself as someone that will struggle with something like that. To him, he should be proficient at everything, or at least have the talent to be really good at anything. After this point in time, Frieza is revived and is training his socks off to try and beat the Saiyans. 4 months pass and he has not just unlocked the golden form but made leaps and bounds in terms of his strength. Arriving on Earth, he faces all the Earthlings and is stopped by the trio of Korn, Goten and Trunks. They all rush ahead toward the first form Frieza and try their best to face him, but even in this suppressed form of his, he can beat the children easily. This requires Goku to arrive to end things. Swiping away an energy beam aimed at Korn, he stares down Frieza. You've come back to cause trouble, Goku realizes, returning his hand to his side. Frieza's ready to fight Goku to get his get back for what happened on Namek. As he talks to Goku with this newfound confidence, the Saiyans behind him can't help but let out laughter from his comments. This starts to really bug Frieza. Who do they think they're laughing at? He isn't some laughing matter. He also isn't the same fighter they defeated on Namek. He's finally tapped into his latent potential. Keep laughing and I'll show you that you should fear, Frieza claims, now in his final form. Are you not going to transform? He asks Goku. No, I won't need to, Goku claims, standing firm against him. Frieza looks infuriated, then fires off toward him to punch him in the chest. Nothing happens. Swiveling around to try and repeatedly kick him in the back, he flips forward to swing down his heel onto his head. However, nothing happens yet again. What has really happened here? Frieza whizzes to face him, a little annoyed at how he's gotten this strong. However, to him, all he has is Super Saiyan, and his golden form is a much better form from his memory. If he uses this, he should end up surpassing Goku even when he uses Super Saiyan. He reveals the next step and the fruits of his training, his golden form. He prepares for battle again and speeds ahead. The others watching from behind have lost track of him. He moves like a complete blur now. It's weird to see this, but they have hopes that Goku will take this attack easily. They see the spars he has with Whis and they have that same nature where they just can't track what's happening. Goku tanks Frieza's first punch and just tanks every other attack that's thrown. Frieza starts getting quite angry as he continues to throw and throw. He's struggling to believe that this could be reality. After 4 whole months, he hasn't even transformed, he hasn't even moved. No matter what he throws, Goku doesn't even seem to be thrown off balance or anything of that sort, he just takes every single attack. Frieza falls back and begins shooting death beams straight at him. They shoot straight through his clothing but can do nothing to pierce his skin. As for the third that comes his way, he swivels it away using his hand. This is when Frieza comes to a stop. He's trying to hide reality from the front of his mind, but as he continues to fight, it gets harder and harder to do so. The reality of the situation dawns on him. Even his golden form wasn't enough to take down ordinary Goku. How much has he been training? This just makes no sense to him. Now Frieza is an evil person. He stops at nothing to get what he wants and to take out his anger. Goku might be durable, but he knows for a fact those kids behind him aren't. Bringing his arm up, he aims a death beam at Goten and fires it off. However, before it can come anywhere near the kid, Goku almost appears in front of the beam to deflect it up into the sky. Frieza tries to aim death beams at those behind Goku, moving his arm and hand around as fast as possible to do it. However, he just can't hit anyone. Stop this, Frieza. Why do you always have to act this way? Goku asks, bored of his constant assault. Goku has gotten used to fighting people like Whis and even his friends Vegeta and Nappa. Now that he is fighting someone much weaker, the fight doesn't really interest him. Kakarot, let me, Vegeta says, tapping on his chest. Now Vegeta may not speak much about Namek, but there's one thing that he didn't forget. Nappa's dying words were for him to defeat Frieza for him. After training with Whis for so long, he's been given that opportunity. Powering up into Super Saiyan Blue as he walks up to Frieza, he's already so angry and wants to test his power against Frieza, to overpower him and to prove that the Saiyans were superior to Frieza all along. However, Vegeta slips past his first punch, then strikes him in the chest, which is then followed by a sweeping uppercut into his gut that drops him to his knees. He follows up with a hook to his chin that sends him onto his hands and knees, where Vegeta glares down at him with his hands behind his back. Look at yourself, a fallen emperor, unable to get rid of his grudges. I told you that the Saiyans would rise above you. You even destroyed our whole planet because you were scared of that fact, but you couldn't even do that right. The only Saiyans you failed to kill rose to the occasion and overpowered you, surpassed you, Vegeta claims, filled with arrogance and pride. You take back those words, Frieza roars, aiming a point-blank energy blast at him. He isn't as fatigued from his fight with Goku since it didn't last as long as it did in canon. Instead, this means that he can still fight, but since Vegeta is stronger, he lifts his hand to block the blast and it just does nothing. Subsequently, Vegeta holds a hand to his head, creating a blast. Wait, please Vegeta, I apologize for everything I've done. This is exactly what you said on Namek when we left you there, but you never changed. I'm aware of your tactics, Frieza. Beg for mercy like you're weak and show no mercy when you're strong. It's not much longer before Vegeta blasts him to smithereens, ending the arc right there. Following this, the adults resume their training and Nappa has been gifted the golden earring by Beerus. He's made significant progress with the destruction powers and is on his way to unlocking Ultra Ego. After the fight with Goku, Beerus felt the need to get more involved with training and even train himself. How has he let a mortal surpass him? He's not weak. On Goku's first day of getting God Ki, he already rushed straight past him and could further the gap at any moment. He needs to train to keep up with him the best he can. Now that's not to say that Beerus is working anywhere near as hard as the Saiyans. He's lazy and sleepy by nature, and so to the Saiyans it's like he's training extremely lightly. However, for him he's training much harder than he has in many millennia. Following this, the Tournament of Destroyers begins and the Saiyans utterly dominate. Nappa is first up against Botamo and it looks to be a battle of giants. The muscular fighter leaps at him and throws a massive right hand which has enough power to send too much power through Botamo's body. He thought that his thick layer of blubber would tank it, but instead he slides off the ring and ends up getting nauseous. What a start for Universe 6. Next, Frost is up to face him. Now even in his base form he can battle a final form Frost and really make him work. Nappa's power is frightening, and after seeing what happened to Botamo, Frost doesn't want to get wallops like that himself. A hit comes flying at his face and it lands, sending him rolling and tumbling across the arena floor. The punch has not only cracked open his nose, but also left him in a daze. After taking a hit like that, there's only one thing on his mind, his poison. As Nappa throws another punch, Frost lifts his hand to block the hit, but then hits him in the elbow. With this hit, he injects his poison and uses it for a subsequent attack that lands and somehow rocks Nappa. Frost lands back down after his jumping punch and Nappa begins to stumble side by side. The world is swaying around him and he has no idea why. Out of nowhere, Frost dashes forward and double drop kicks him on his chest to send the tower of a man falling. He falls off the ring's edge and the fight is over. This brings shock to those from Universe 7 that watched this happen. How did he get beat like that? They weren't expecting that. Just a few combinations ago, Frost couldn't lay a finger on him, but out of nowhere he got thrown out the ring like that from a single punch. Now, Nappa was in his base form, so there's nothing really to fear for the universe. Worst case scenario, Goku swoops in and takes out any threat that he needs to. However, it just makes them wonder, why has he lost like that? Anyway, Vegeta is the next one up, and he takes Frost a little more seriously. Powering up into Super Saiyan, he speeds off toward him and doesn't hold back. Speeding around him to appear behind him, he knees him in the back and actually lifts him off his feet. Before he can fly off though, Vegeta latches onto his tail and swings him overhead then downward. Frost crashes into the rock ground beneath and breaks through it from the force behind the swing. He grunts from the pain and struggles to lift his torso up slightly so that his forearms are resting on the ground. You're a cheater. I know that you did something to win that fight before and I don't respect you for that. However, I did expect it, Vegeta says, before pulling his right leg back. It seems like everyone in Frieza's race is the same, mischievous and stopping at nothing to get what they want. Shooting it forward with immense strength, it shoots Frost into the air but off the ring as well. The win is Vegeta's. He saw past that veil of politeness and kindness immediately. Even Frieza's father was evil. Who knows, maybe every other member of his race possesses that dark, sinister nature. The following fighter to face Vegeta is Vegeta. Now the fight with him goes similar, where Vegeta spouts an insult to totally weaken the Metal Man and make him eliminate himself. Next, Vegeta is up to face Cabba. Vegeta still tests him, trying to draw out the latent Saiyan potential and succeeds to activate Cabba's Super Saiyan form. The fight becomes slightly more interesting that way, but Vegeta still has the upper hand and can defeat him, even in his base form. Following this, Vegeta is up to face Hit. He can't tell exactly how strong he is, but from the ki that he can sense and from his general demeanor, he hopes that this fight will be different. He starts off the fight by leaping up to kick him in his chest, however Hit does not move. This fight might be interesting. Vegeta's base form proves to be unable to hurt or even move him around. Stepping back, he decides to turn things up a notch and begins relying on Super Saiyan 3. His hair flows gracefully under his ki and the fight continues. As he races forward, he can see that he is much faster and decides to use his time skip. Stepping to the side of his incoming attack, he can deliver one of his own with complete ease. This shoots Vegeta up into the sky and he slams into the ring's boundary before ricocheting off it and downward. Flipping in the air, he slowly descends and lands again, a little confused as to how he'd been hit like that. Hit didn't seem to move in his direction, it was like he used some form of teleportation. Anyhow, the fight continues and Vegeta can see that his Super Saiyan 3 forms will also be insufficient. Hit is still stronger, faster and can keep him at bay. Hit lands a straight punch onto his crossed arms and Vegeta lets the force land onto the crossover point of his arms. This reduces the overall impact from the strike and makes it hurt just that bit less. He slides across the ring and keeps his arms up for about a second or two before letting them drop down. Now his hair begins to shorten and he is illuminated by a soft but fiery red aura. His God Ki is activated and Super Saiyan God Vegeta is here. Now after receiving a significant power boost, he feels like this might be enough. Leaping straight at Hit with a shout, he falls victim to Hit's time skip. The technique draws the attention of the Saiyans that watch it happen. As Hit uses the time skip again, he races across the arena to adopt a more optimal position against Vegeta. As he steps around though, he can see Goku in the stands. The others around him look practically frozen, but Goku's eyes perfectly track him as he moves. This is the same for the gods around him. Goku then gives a wink to him, surprising Hit. He's fast enough to blink and have Hit perceive it even when he's using time skip. Now that's some scary speed. Hit finishes off the ability and elbows Vegeta in the jaw and still can't take that thought out of his mind. How can a mortal so strong be in the stands? He was watching the fight exactly as the gods were. Vegeta is angered by that cheap shot and is tired of Hit teleporting around with his time skip. Blue sparks of ki flow up his body and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta appears. Now 50 times stronger, the tides of the battle now turn to his favour. He lands an elbow in response to the elbow that was landed on him, then swings in a hook to his chin that sends him flying to the side. Vegeta is now the physically superior fighter and he takes advantage of this fact. He lands a long, strong side kick to Hit's chin and sends the assassin off his feet. Right after, he shoots out his other foot to land another side kick in quick succession. Hit is now at the ring's edge, and before he can use his time skip again, Vegeta fires his Gallic gun straight at him. The impetus of the blast nearly knocks him off his feet, but he stays vigilant and forces it back as much as he can. However, he soon starts to slide back, no matter how hard he tries to keep pushing forward. The ground's friction just can't keep him from falling back, and the fight is soon over. He flies into the edge of the ring, and the explosion is quite large. Some of the medical officials run over to check if Hit's okay, which he isn't, but what they're happy about is that he's alive. Vegeta is not disqualified and has defeated the final foe Universe 6 was able to offer. Universe 7 are the winners of the Tournament of Destroyers. Upon being helped up, Hit can't help but shoot passing glances at Goku. How strong is he? Who is he? Beerus is pleased with the performance of his fighters and their training continues just like normal. Goku isn't using KAIOKEN right now to boost his power, it's just a cheat to him. If he has to protect his friends, then there's no other option for him, but he won't use it as an easy way out of working for his power. Now in the future timeline, hell has broken loose. Future Trunks, crawling away from a dead Mai, looks in the sky to see Vegeta Black, who looks down at him with a smile of pity. "Oh, look at you, Trunks. You fought so well for your people, for your mortal friends," Vegeta Black says, before before lightly shoving him. What is a light push to him breaks Trunks' arm from slamming into a building. All of you are blind to your imperfections. You weren't able to hear my word, and so I must remove you to bring the world to true peace. I won't let you do it, he exclaims, holding onto his bleeding arm. Solar flare, he shouts out, blinding the Saiyan. It works like a charm. Blasting off with every last bit of energy that he has, he manages to escape in the nick of time and arrives in the present. He kind of just collapses seconds after getting here, and the Saiyans from Beerus' planet arrive shortly after to see what's happening. Upon waking up, Trunks is even more distressed upon seeing Vegeta than he was with seeing Goku in the canon timeline. He leaps up from the bed that Bulma put him on and grabs him by the neck of his shirt. He wrestles him back, roaring with vehemence. I won't let you. Wait, he realizes, letting go of Vegeta's gi. I'm so sorry, he repeats, frightened by what he's just done. Soon after, the Saiyans become aware of what's happened, and they can't believe that he had to go through that. Vegeta is particularly annoyed at how his body has been taken and used for such evil deeds. He wants to defeat this person, to show him the true Vegeta is superior to whatever abomination he's created with that mind-body transfer. The Saiyans all head there together, with Goku acting as pretty much a failsafe. If worst comes to worst, Goku can step in and bring everything to a stop. However, Vegeta is very reluctant to let this happen. In his eyes, the fight is with him and not with Kakarot. He shouldn't be allowed to take this fight from him. Trunks can see that these Saiyans view Goku differently to when he first came to the present timeline. He was viewed as the strongest and the main protector, but now it's like he has this godlike influence where he can control everything that occurs. Vegeta is only fighting here because Goku let him. Goku will let the fight continue, and whenever he wants to step in, he will. Just how strong has he gotten over this time? They all head to the future, and Vegeta is at the forefront of the group. It isn't long before Vegeta Black makes himself known, then the former lifts into flight to arrive at his level. He looks up and down at him a few times before chuckling with disdain. I can feel you're terribly weak compared to I, Vegeta states. If it isn't the generous benefactor of this body of mine, Vegeta Black tauntingly says, pumping his sane chest. Vegeta's eye twitches as he sees him showing off his own body. Oh, that's the end of all that. He blasts forward and the battle is on. He lands a massive strike to his gut and sends him flying tens and tens of meters. He chases right after him and pings him around, landing massive haymakers at every point he changes his trajectory. Vegeta Black has been reduced to a simple ping pong ball where Vegeta is acting as the racket. Vegeta Black, whenever he tries to throw something back, sees that he can't even hurt Vegeta at all. He can just take every attack that he throws and not be at all affected by it. This even surprises Vegeta a bit. It's been a long while since he's been this weak. He's using his body, but it's clear that he can't do it properly. Even if he took his body a while back, he shouldn't be as weak as he is right now. Taking the body of a Saiyan doesn't make you one, and from what you've shown, Vegeta says before punching him in the face, you can't become anywhere near as strong as one. Vegeta Black stays back for a short while. The feelings of humiliation and anger are bubbling up, brewing. Shouting with anger, his silver aura takes form and switches to that of a pristine gold. He's already achieved the initial Super Saiyan form. Blasting straight back to Vegeta, it's clear that he's gotten much stronger. Vegeta wanted to hold back for this fight, but once he sees how fast he moves, he knows he has to give it his all. Whipping up his arms as fast as he can, the first punch falls straight onto his arms and shoots him back at full speed. He takes a few strikes straight onto his arms and can feel the serious force to them. Vegeta Black sluggishly throws a punch at him, but Vegeta slips out the way and dives down at full speed. In this dive, he aims up his right hand and launches his Big Bang attack. He thought that this sneaky hit would work, but Vegeta Black is strong enough now to swipe the blast away. There's a smile of surprise and pride on his face once he realizes how strong he's gotten to do that though. The blast detonates far from them and leaves Vegeta with only one choice. The golden ki flows over his body and invigorates him. Super Saiyan Vegeta is here. Vegeta Black is confident and believes that he still has the edge. Darting forward to attack him, he punches Vegeta right in his chest, only to see that he doesn't move at all, not a single bit. The fight's dynamics continue in that same way, where Vegeta can tank every single one of his attacks and just seem unbothered by his relentless striking. Abruptly, Vegeta grabs one of his incoming fists and twists it, sending Vegeta Black into a very awkward position. Pulling him as hard as he can, he headbutts the false Saiyan and then swivels around to kick him down with immense force. He is shot down like an arrow and slams through several buildings before coming to a stop. There is no movement for a second, but it looks like Vegeta did take the win. He actually did it. He beat Vegeta Black. This is amazing, Future Trunks bursts out with surprise. As he steps forward, Goku holds up one hand and stops him in place. He's not done. The fight isn't over just yet, Goku states. Vegeta Black is a mortal body, and so he isn't utilizing Divine Ki. All of the Z fighters have trained their Ki sensing abilities over these numerous years, and they know when a fighter has been knocked down. Their Ki vanishes or starts dramatically decreasing, but here they felt nothing like that. In the very next moment, Vegeta Black blasts out from the ground and goes flying up to continue. As they continue, they can see that Vegeta Black is growing stronger and stronger. It's gradual, but it's there. They can feel his power growing, and Vegeta starts to struggle, even in Super Saiyan. Vegeta throws out 2 quick punches, but Vegeta Black is hasty and evades both before elbowing him right in his sternum. This strike sends a force through Vegeta's body and kind of stuns him. He was just winning the fight, and they did get close in power, but this sends a very clear message. He is not the superior any longer. Taking an uppercut right to his chin, he is launched upward and the world turns to a complete blur. He can flip around and gain control quite quickly before diving down to evade whatever else is coming, but as he falls down, he starts to think about the situation. Has Vegeta Black, this false Saiyan, this copycat, actually grown to surpass him? They're using the same form. He knows that Vegeta Black isn't using Super Saiyan 2. There's no electrical ki, and he can just tell by the slight differences in his hair when that form appears. However, he can see this is basic Super Saiyan. Has he really been outclassed? This is infuriating. For somebody to take his body and just grow and grow like this, he has no clue why this is happening, most likely due to the healing powers he has. However, Vegeta has no such healing factor and is confusing. He assumes it's a byproduct of his mind transfer. Looking up, red ki flows around him. He's going to make this quick. You want to steal my body and prove your power? Alright then, let's see how you deal with this, Vegeta says, staring at Vegeta Black. He stares into his eyes and his golden bright irises turn to a scarlet bloody red as this ki engulfs him. His ki of light switches to that of flames. The calmness within his mind has been washed away by anger and fury. In a flash he's gone and Vegeta Black looks around to try and find him. What's going on? Suddenly he can hear this whooshing from all around him, but he's too quick to be identified and tracked. Vegeta Black sees this strong blur around him and with it is a strong wind, but he can't do anything to lock it down and actually see what's happening. He takes a single kick to his chest and feels his whole chest break down and shatter. It's a strong hit and sends him completely flying back. Vegeta then shoots after him like an arrow, flipping forward to kick him down into a building beneath them. The ground rumbles from the impact and Vegeta Black coughs out blood from the broken ribs in his chest. It's a terrible pain and leaves him in a near unmovable state. He's just lying there with his arms and legs flopped onto the cracked ground beneath. Vegeta gracefully lands beneath him before dropping down to deliver a devastating combination of ground and pound punches. After a sequence of punches, he falls through the ceiling and ends up sending him through another handful of floors. Vegeta Black can do nothing to resist and he just receives worse and worse injuries. Look at you, received a minute of glory to just end up on the floor all the same, Vegeta says tauntingly, looking down at him as he does so. Vegeta Black looks like he wants to give a retort. It's clear those words stung. However, as the air tries to come out, he ends up just coughing out blood. Vegeta just laughs in reaction. His eyes exude nothing but disdain and focused anger. After boosting his ego after his victory, the thoughts of what this timeline has been through start to resurface. This is now a Vegeta that cares for people that have fallen in that way, that have truly suffered. During this time though, Vegeta Black is healing. The wounds are painfully but quietly mending themselves. He can feel the bone fractures healing, but it can't be heard. Vegeta's mind is in a different place anyway. Bringing a kick to his face, Vegeta Black grunts in pain, holding his nose as it begins to bleed. I can't believe you've done all of this. You really deserve death, Vegeta says, before shooting down a punch to his chest. The punch though is caught. Vegeta Black isn't Super Saiyan, yes, but how is he blocking this strike with just that measly form? Vegeta Black's aura then switches to a warm, bright rosé colour. Vegeta Black blasts up and shoots Vegeta into the air, now in Super Saiyan Rosé. He races right after him, landing a single punch that sends his jaw slamming up into his skull. This breaks one of his teeth and launches him right through a cloud. Vegeta Black continues his beatdown with a mindless cackle in the process. Vegeta powers up into Super Saiyan Blue, but it still isn't enough. He ends up being grabbed by the neck and this grab cuts off all air from his system. He can feel his body weakening by the second, and no matter how much he resists, he can feel that he isn't getting out. I told you that us divinities are above you all. Your chatter holds no weight. You speak in claims, in arrogance, in faith, but you all don't really know anything. Your eyes are blinded. You only see what's in your direct view, but can't see what's in your periphery. You can't see what's behind your head, Vegeta Black furthers. He then explains to him how he took his body. how Zamasu became Vegeta Black. He murdered Trunks and Bulma in cold blood, taking his body to don the title of Vegeta Black. Vegeta just screams with his mouth closed as his eyes start to water. This is all he can do. His emotions start to bubble up wildly. It's all getting out of control. However, after, he can feel a tap to his neck that makes his whole body spasm. He lets go of Vegeta and can see the world turning to a blur. He almost passes out in flight for a second, like he's taken a massive knockout punch. However, he snaps back into reality before he falls from the skies and keeps himself in flight. Then he can feel this burning sensation in his neck though, and can feel bleeding in his neck from the attack. All he can feel is a warmth coming from behind him, the warmth of a living body. Goku, you've done enough, Vegeta. I'm going to have to step in now, Goku says. No, stay back there, what are you doing? This fight is mine, Vegeta roars with anger. Goku lifts his hands, flinching from Vegeta's sudden outburst. I need to keep the peace in this timeline, Vegeta. Honestly, this is above both of us, Goku says, totally calm. It's like he doesn't even take Vegeta Black as a threat. He's not taking him seriously at all. As he looks back down to Vegeta Black, his bubbly, goofy attitude fades. The warrior Goku takes form now. He took my family, he killed Bulma, he killed my son, Vegeta says, getting even more furious as he acts out like this. He flies forward and goes straight for Vegeta Black, only to receive an elbow to his neck that knocks him out. As he starts to fall, Goku does the same attack to the aggressor, getting revenge for his knocked out friend. Vegeta Black's neck snaps from this hit, even though it comes from in front of him. It's brutal and they don't really like to see it, but it's brought peace to Trunks' timeline. Nappa takes Vegeta on his shoulder and they prepare to leave. It was a pleasure to be of service, kiddo, Nappa says, walking toward the time machine. They head back and then Trunks returns to his own timeline. Vegeta wakes up shortly after and is like a ticking time bomb as he wakes up. He soon comes around though. He was outclassed and Goku would have let him continue the fight if the mission wasn't to save Trunks' timeline. The battle really was above him. After this point in time, Goku meets Zeno with Beerus and Whis. News spreads of Goku's achievements in surpassing Beerus and now being able to completely thrash him. Zeno is surprised and wants to see some of this power for himself. Once Whis reveals how strong Goku is, the guards of Zeno even drop their stance to look at him before swiftly getting back into position. A mortal that only has God Ki and training for a few years has already reached this level, what a surprise. Whis keeps his powers under wraps for now. If they find out that he can just jump up his strength at will pretty much, that would put an immediate target on Goku's back. Whis is playing with fire by omitting that information, but he believes that Goku shouldn't possibly lose his life for it. I mean, it's not his fault that he got these powers, and up until now, he's used his ability sparingly and discriminatively. Show me how strong you are. Fight Whis here for me, Zeno explains. Whis puts down his staff and creates a floating ring where Goku is here to have a televised spar against his trainer, Whis. Beerus is watching from the side and this starts streaming live on GOKU'S. For the Kais in Universe 7, it's surprising to see Goku up fighting an actual angel, but it's not all that crazy. To the other universes, they can't even believe it's real. Once they see this thing is live and about to happen, they can't keep themselves together. Champa's eyes are about to burst out his skull when Valos informs him that this stuff is actually happening. Goku crouches down slightly and then disappears. Using instant transmission, he appears behind him and swings a kick to his leg, but Whis uses his staff to elegantly block. The strike falls onto the bar and the force dissipates throughout the staff as well. He then throws himself back as fast as he can to make sure that he isn't caught by the hit. Even though Goku is strong in his base, the difference between him and Whis is still massive. Whis strikes down the staff and Goku catches it. This is even surprising to those that watch, but this isn't the end of it. Whis pushes down further and bends Goku's knees with how hard he pushes down. Pulling out his staff, he sweeps at Goku's legs, lifting him off the ground and then lands a light tap with the end of his staff to his sternum. Come on Goku, where is your control? Whis says, aiming his staff at him. Just because this is a spar doesn't mean you should be holding back so much, Whis explains. Yeah, I guess so, Goku says, before closing his eyes. Upon opening, he reveals their crimson red colour and begins using his God Ki. The first Super Saiyan God in modern history then fires off to continue the battle, leaving a smile on Whis' face. So that will conclude the third part to what if Goku's KAIOKEN was permanent. Please tell me something you liked about the video or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.